Recording. Okay, so I really haven't had time to read this one today as much, but I've already read like just a little bit of a portion of it, and it was really good. And so I think that a lot of people can relate to it. And it's the same devotional as what we spoke about yesterday and the day before. It says, "What is God doing?" And I think it's really, really good because I've been very transparent and very honest with you guys. Of some days, some months, some weeks, I just feel like I don't hear God. And that's okay. It's not necessarily that he's ignoring you or there's like an absence in him. There's just always, you have to kind of have this faith. And this is where faith sets in, that he's working in your life in times even when you don't feel it or see it. He's always working. He's always doing something. And so the confidence of that can push you forward. And that's where hope comes in. And so this one says expecting. And it says, what do you expect to happen when you pray? Do you expect God to answer? Do you expect to get exactly what you asked for? Or if you're brutally honest, do you expect nothing much to happen? Do you approach prayer more like a wishing well? It'd be cool if you got your wish, but you know you probably just wasted a penny. I think this is an unfortunate trap we can fall into when it comes to prayer. If you go through a rough season or a prayer that didn't go on your way, go your way, or maybe you've been trying to hear from God for a while and he just doesn't seem to be answering. It can sometimes shake our expectations of what God might do. But God is always working in our lives, always answering prayer, even if it's not in the way or the timing we would like. He is alive and active in our lives. We just need to reframe what we expect God to do. If I can be really transparent with you, I fall into seasons where I stop seeing God at work in my life. It feels like he's not hearing me. It seems like all my prayers come back with a big no, or at least a not right now. It gets discouraging, but eventually I snap out of it and start praying. God, show me what you're doing in my life right now. I'll then commit to writing down everything I see God doing. Every time I notice him at work in my life, instantly these lists fill up. I find myself filling pages of journals with lots of little things and sometimes big things that I see God doing. Did God suddenly kick his activity into high gear because I prayed? No. He's been working like this the entire time. The problem was me and my expectations. I either expected him to do exactly what I asked for in the exact timing I wanted it, or I let my faith get shaky and I honestly didn't expect him to do anything. Both responses are a mistake. If you expect God to work in your life, you will absolutely see him working in your life. You just have to keep in mind that he is God and you are not. His actions may not be what you would have wished for, but they will always be with your best interests in mind. Start this week, write down everything you see God doing or hearing him speaking to you. I'm confident you'll have more written in just a few days than you ever thought possible. And I've told y'all this before, but I personally started making a notes list, especially on the weeks that I don't hear him. I've got to have like more faith in that season. Okay, I have to trust him a little bit more. And so I started making a notes section in my note and I said, blessings received. And I would name every single little thing possible that happened to me. And it could be as little as a compliment. It could be as little as I got free parking that day. It could be as little as someone sent me a nice message on Facebook that I didn't expect. The customer review was really, really good. I didn't have to pay a bill that I thought I had to pay. Someone else in my family life actually got help. Like, it doesn't matter where it comes from or what it looks like. I think we have this expectation of what blessing looks like too. And it's what we go back to talking about comparing our blessing to other people's blessings. And then we look and we're like, they're more blessed than me. God, why am I not blessed that way? I do that all the freaking time. And it just leaves me in a comparison trap. And it leaves me in this bitterness state when I know God has everything intended for me for a reason and for my purpose. And he's not going to give me something I can't handle, where he is, but he knows that it's there to break me down and make me and mold me into the person that he wants me to become. And so when you have this perspective, it really helps you go throughout the day easily. I had a girl on my team the other day. She was extremely discouraged. A lot of things had happened in her home life. A lot of things were just happening. And I asked her to do this, and I asked her to write down a blessings category. And I asked her to be very, very aware of all the little things that were coming into her life and updating me. And every single time I test someone to do this on my team, they come back with, and not even on my team, someone on here, I challenged them to do this. And so they like did this and they kept giving me good feedback. And I was just like, this is what's happened. Like, this is what happens when you pay attention to things that are not necessarily on your timeline and not necessarily what you prayed for. Because do you think I prayed for someone to give me a compliment? No, but it makes me feel good. And that's what's leading me up. And God knew that I needed that today. And like, it's the littlest things that add to it. And so I think that a lot of us lose perspective because we're praying for something and you hear silence and you get discouraged and you lose faith and you're like, okay, I'm going to pray one last time. I'm going to pray for this, and I don't expect God to do anything, but I'm just going to do it anyways. Okay. And yesterday, I mean, I can just use this as an example. Like yesterday, I was journaling and I was praying out to God, and I was like, I talked about, what did I talk about? I don't know if I talked about intentions yesterday. I cannot remember, but it was really freaking good. And I was talking about intentions, and the reasons why people don't receive some of the things that they want to is because the intentions don't line up with what God wants you to have. So if you're praying for this amount of money, but you're going to use that money in a selfish way, He's not going to give it to you. Okay. I genuinely believe that I've been pushing for a paycheck goal for a while. I genuinely believe I have not received it yet, because God knows that, like, I personally feel a little bit like I would be selfish in a way, because I feel like I've never made that have a paycheck. So I'm like, of course I'm going to spend it on me, but I'm not stupid with my money, so I wouldn't be stupid with it. And He's telling me, like, sister, you've got to learn to be a good steward. You've got to learn to be a good steward. You've got to learn to be a good steward. And so when you're praying for something and you don't quite get it right, then check your intentions behind it and see, is this God honoring? Am I wanting this because I know that people will see God through this act, or am I wanting it because I know that I just want it? And that's where it got me yesterday, and it really had me thinking. And so I started praying intentionally, and I noticed, like, my distributor enrollments had went down. And it didn't have anything to do with my work ethic. It didn't have anything to do with what is it, this, like, the season we're in or anything, because people are mass enrolling. And I was just like, something's not adding up here. Like, what is it, God? And I noticed, and He just spoke to me, and like, that was with my quiet time that I talked about yesterday. I was just like, God, can you speak to me? And I realized my tendencies were selfish. Anytime I talked to someone, I was like, oh, I want to sign up this person so I can get a fast start, and so I can get them to Ruby, so I can make myself feel good. And then I flipped the switch yesterday, and I was like, no, that's not in the intentions that I want to have. So now I want to have intentions of really helping people. And I really shifted that focus, and it came out in my conversations. I literally had 4 potential distributors come out of me in nowhere saying that they wanted to sign up, because I changed my intentions on it. And I started talking to them, and I started talking to them like a human. And when they told me their problems, it was problems I used to face. And that was when I was like, wow, I could really help you. I know that I could really help you, because I was there at one point, and I came from a selfless place. And I think that that's when people started flowing in. And so I think you have to check your intentions. You have to check your expectations, because I was expecting God to bless me and bless me and bless me and give me these things and give me these people. And I was getting so frustrated with Him. I was like, God, why are you not doing this? God, why are you not doing this? And He was just like, you need to check your intentions before I bless you with anything else. And it was just like, oh, okay, smack in the face, thank you. And so then I realized that, and then I started expecting that, and then I started expecting God to bless me if it honored Him. So yesterday I prayed in the car while I was on the way to the park, and I was just like, God, can you please, like, can you bless me with the things and bless me with the intentions of what would serve you? Who do I need to serve today? What do I need to do to serve you today? What actions do I need to take to serve you today that aren't selfish? Because it seems like I've been selfish lately, and I don't like that feeling. Like, you can be selfish in some areas. I believe that that's completely okay. But I think that for the majority, like, we know that we can't get anywhere if we're selfish all the time. And then if you do get that thing that you are praying for and it's in a selfish tendency, you're probably not going to keep it for long, and it's probably actually not going to feel that great. Okay. And so I just feel like that perspective really hit me home. And then it said, do you expect God to answer? Do you expect God to get exactly what you asked for? If you're brutally honest, do you expect nothing much to happen? Do you approach prayer life wishing like a wishing well? It'd be cool if you got your wish, but you probably just wasted a penny. So the next time you're praying, or the next time you're even just speaking something over yourself, I want you to kind of have that perspective and just ask yourself, like, what am I feeling right now? Am I kind of going into this prayer expecting Him not to bless it because He hasn't blessed me in this area before? Or am I going into it more of like, oh, He could bless it, or He couldn't, or go into it with confidence and say, I know He'll bless it, but He'll bless it in the way that He needs to, because everything works out for the good. And something that I learned yesterday, or not learned, but I heard yesterday, it was just talking about, like, the confidence that you need to have is that, like, God literally knows all areas of your life. God knows your future, and you don't. So why are you going to sit here and worry? Like, why would you sit here and worry and get panicked and frustrated and all these different negative emotions when He tells you all the time that all things are going to work out for the good those who believe in Him or love Him or something like that. And so I just think that having that approach to things and having that approach to prayer life is huge. And I think that this could really help you elevate to that next level of where you're wanting to go. And it doesn't have to be money related or rank related. It could be just genuinely your character. And we know when we build our character, that's the biggest success in life, if we're being honest. Like, like I think you would rather be not, I don't want to say broke because I don't like speaking that out. I don't believe that everybody has to be broke, but I'm just saying, like, you could be comfortable with money, okay, but you could have the best character. You could be broke and have the best character, but you could be extremely rich and have the worst character. Like, it just kind of depends. Or you could be extremely rich with a good character. Like, what type of character do you want to have? It's not like a person that has to have a lot of money has to have a terrible character, or someone who has no money at all, it has to have this worst character or a really good character. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, like, no matter what stage of life you're in, it's never too late or too early to have good character. And I think when you're building on that character, that's when blessings overflow, and when you notice the blessings a lot more, and you're more aware and you're more thankful, and you're in that state of gratitude all the time. And something that I've been hearing and popping up lately, after literally, it's like devotional, my Bible, my Bible app, my sermons that I'm listening to, even just my podcast. Literally everything's like smacking me in the face, and all it's saying is have a better prayer life. Pray more, pray more, pray more, pray more, pray more, pray more. And I realized that I was slacking off in the prayer division because things were going really good. And things are good, but things were going really, really good. And we all know when things are going really, really good, that's when you're like, I don't really need self-development, or I don't really need, spiritual development. I now do self-development every day as a discipline, but there's days that I'm like, I'm just kind of doing this just to mark it off a list, and that's what I was doing with prayer, my prayer life. I was not really doing it and with the heart. I was just doing it as in, like, okay, God, I need to do this just so I can tell you that I prayed today. And it just kept popping up everywhere. It was like, pray, pray, pray. You need to have a deeper connection when you pray, 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 pray. Prayer life, you need to have a better prayer life, this. And I was like, okay, God. And so I started deeply praying with him again. Like I told y'all yesterday, when I go in the car, sometimes I play worship music, and sometimes I just sit in silence and I just talk to God. And that's honestly like my best prayers, because I don't live in like a huge town, but like when traffic hits, it takes you a little bit to get to one side to the other. And so you're going to be in the car for a little bit. And so it just allows me to like have that moment of prayer. And even when I go on walks, I love to go on walks outside. Like I just like, it just is my thing. I just love doing walks outside. So when I walk outside, I'll just pray. Like I'll just talk to God and pray the whole time, instead of listening to personal development or listening to a sermon, or I'll do half prayer, half sermon, whatever it is. But that's what I learned. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then that just really hit me yesterday, because I just realized that I had a lot of selfish tendencies that I needed to let go, and a lot of things where I was trying to produce the outcome. And that's why I ended up frustrated when God was like, you're praying for this outcome, but I know that outcome's not going to serve you. And so I'm going to give you this outcome instead. And it's always better. It's always for your good. And I think just like having that perspective moving forward into your life, and even today when things happen, check your intentions. Expect the good and check your intentions. When you send out messages, or when you send gratitude messages, or when you sit here and sign someone up, or when you're wanting to sign someone up so you pray and manifest over it, whatever it is, what are your intentions? Is it just to get a fast start? Is it just to make money? Or is it genuinely being like, no, I know what this could do for this person. Make a deep connection with that person. And that's what I did yesterday. And when the website gets fixed, I have these distributors signing up. Prayed to Jesus, please. I pray, baby Jesus, that this website gets fixed soon. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that gives someone perspective. Oh, I didn't do it yesterday, but I meant to ask, which I guess Brooke talked yesterday. If anybody has a testimonial Tuesday, which this isn't Tuesday, it's a testimonial Wednesday, something good that's happened to you that you've been praying over and you've been wanting to happen, you can open up the floor and you can talk if you want, but no pressure if you don't have anything. So I'm going to open it up to that. And also you can start dropping your prayer requests below, and we'll pray over you guys. And if anybody wants to talk, let me know. I didn't allow anybody to unmute themselves because I get distracted. So if you need to unmute yourself, just comment below. Oh, I just saw this question. How do you know that you need to check your intentions? I normally, it's when I'm feeling really frustrated that I haven't received the thing that I'm praying for. And let me tell you, I get frustrated very easily. And so that's normally when I do that. Oh, let me stop this.